What's going on, everyone? So I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers with this one, but here's what's going on. Last week, I made a video talking about style mistakes that older guys make trying to look youthful. And in that video, I showed some stuff to avoid wearing, and I asked if you wanted to see a video showing examples of maybe some things that were outdated. Because let's face it, one of the last things, in my opinion, that we want as an older gentleman is to appear or look outdated and irrelevant. And look, before you light me up in the comments saying that you don't care how you look and you don't care what people think of you, you actually do. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't have clicked on this video. Anyway, because a lot of you guys left comments on the other video over the last week asking me to make this video, here it is. So sit back, relax, and watch all the way to the end to make sure that you're not still wearing any of these outdated items. All right, so let's jump right in. But first, really quick, if you're new here, my name is John, and I'm the founder of 40 Over Fashion. And the entire premise around this channel is to help prove that you're never too old and it's never too late to make a change in your life or start something new. And I'm glad that you're here. All right, so I think the best way to structure this video is to start at the ground and work our way up. So let's talk about shoes first. All right, so let's start with casual shoes and work our way up to something more dressy. And keep in mind, style is subjective, and you certainly don't have to like the choices that I'm gonna highlight in this video, and that's totally okay, because basically, I'm just trying to cast a big wide net today. All right, though, starting with sneakers. I like sneakers, and I don't have a problem with older guys wearing them, because honestly, I have a pretty casual personal style myself, and I'm a sneaker guy. I like that sneakers are laid back, they're easy to pair, they have a casual aesthetic, but they can also be elevated and polished at the same time if you get the right pair. So again, in my opinion, shoes like this are outdated and should be avoided in favor of something a little more classic. I mean, look, after all, it's still a sneaker, but this one is just a nicer looking, more streamlined version. It looks more grown up, it looks more sophisticated, and just overall more polished. You can easily go with white, blue, black, brown, gray, whatever color you like. So if you have something like this, maybe currently in your closet, I think it's probably time to get rid of it. Donate, trash, whatever you're comfortable with. Now, I will say that if you need a pair of like grubby sneakers to wear when you're working in the garage or working in the yard, that's totally fine because I also have that pair. But what I don't do is wear these out to public, like say out to lunch or out to dinner. All right, now let's talk about loafers, starting casual. So I've been on the fence with boat shoes for a really long time, and I think it's probably time that I decide if these are a yes or a no. And I would say, for the most part, they're gonna be a no. I mean, it's a classic shoe, it has a definite place in history, and I still see nice versions, but I think if I had to make a stand, I would avoid the boat shoe in favor of something a little bit nicer like a suede driving mock. Driving mocks are incredibly versatile, they're incredibly comfortable, and when the weather gets warm, I think this is a much better choice, at least in my opinion. They come in tons of different colors and styles and materials to go with just about anything that you might be wearing. Now, suede would be a more casual material, but you can also go with something in leather to elevate the overall look. So in the spring and summer, the driving shoe would be one of my go-to options. All right, the last shoe category is dress shoes. So let's start with a dress loafer. Avoid anything square toe and chunky. Now, before somebody calls me out in the comments, yes, I realize that square toe shoes are making a bit of a comeback, but I would still 100% avoid these because this is a trend that, in my opinion, will come and go very quickly. And what we shouldn't be doing at this age is chasing all the latest trends. Go with something simple, streamlined, and classic like this. Now, same thing goes with your lace-up dress shoes. Avoid anything overly chunky in design and avoid square toes. So let's just do this. If you have any square toe dress shoes in your closet right now, get rid of them. Trash, donate, whatever you're comfortable with, because my guess is that you've had these for about the last 10 years, back when they were still a thing. But they haven't been a thing or even been in style since then. So let's just call it quits right now on square toes and choose something more classic, sleek, and elevated like these. All right, moving up to your pants. And once again, before anybody comes at me in the comments, yes, I do realize that pleated pants are making a small comeback. However, I would still stay away from them, especially if you might be carrying a few extra pounds around the middle and you're self-conscious about it. All right, so this is exactly what I mean. Here's a picture of me wearing oversized pleated dress pants at a wedding back from the year 2000. Now, granted, I'm not in the best physical shape that I could be in, but these pants aren't doing me any favors. And if you're a bigger gentleman, pleated pants like this are only gonna make you look bigger. They technically fit me in the waist. I mean, they're my size, but there's just so much extra material around the midsection because of the pleats, and the leg openings are just way too wide. And of course, me not knowing any better back then, the pants are clearly like 3 to 4 inches too long, which makes me look dumpy and sloppy. I mean, honestly, the only thing that I've got going for myself in this picture is I think I got the tie length right. Otherwise, that's about it. So if you still have these pants in your closet, it's time to move on. If you're a slender guy, I would suggest pants in a slim fit, but not tight, making sure that the leg opening down at the ankle is somewhere around 7 inches. If you're an average to heavier set build, maybe look for something in a slim straight or a straight cut with the leg opening somewhere around 7.5 to 8 inches, whatever works better for you, because a ½ inch makes a big difference.
That's what she said.
So take a look and compare this measurement on what you might currently have in your closet and also when you're out shopping for something brand new. All right, now let's talk about shirts. Now this one's gonna be a little bit tricky because all of us have a different shape. But I think the message that I wanna send here is to just avoid anything oversized. And here's one area that you can definitely keep your eyes on. So when you're looking at shirts, make sure the shoulder seam is on top of your shoulder, not down here off the side of your shoulder. Again, let's go back and look at that old picture of me. All right, so as you can see right here, the shoulder seam is clearly down past my shoulder, and technically it should be up another inch or so. Now, another thing to note is that my sleeves are way too long and look maybe 2 to 3 inches too long, but there's also a lot of extra fabric around my midsection because you can see how bunched and gathered the shirt is around my belt line. This is another area to watch out for to avoid looking outdated. I mean, here's the thing. The baggy and oversized look was a thing back in the 90s and early 2000s, and although, yeah, some of that is trying to come back in as a trend, but again, we're not here chasing trends. Leave that all to the young guys. Because what happens is when older guys wear clothing that's clearly too big, it does several things. Number one, it looks like you're wearing somebody else's clothes. And number two, it just sends the message that you haven't moved on from the 90s, and that can make you look outdated. And here's a little more perspective. So here's a picture of me wearing 2 different pairs of pants and 2 different shirts. Now, technically, all of these are my correct size. The difference is the cut. For example, the shirt on the left is cut loose, and there's just way too much extra fabric, and the same thing goes with the pleated trousers. Now, the shirt on the right is a slim fit shirt, and the pants are also slim fit. And even if you're a bigger guy, you can still find shirts out there that aren't cut so full and boxy. Because it's pretty easy to see that the oversized pieces make me look bigger than I actually am, and at least for me, that's not something that I want. And for short sleeves, if you're a t-shirt or polo shirt guy, the same rules apply. But I'm not saying the shirt has to be skin tight or anything, but pay attention to just how the shirt is cut. Also look at the length of the sleeve and how wide the sleeve opening is. Because the wider the sleeve opening, the smaller your arm is gonna look. Now, it's really all about finding the right fit for your body in the style that suits your lifestyle. It's trial and error. And yes, you do need to put in a little bit of effort, but look, if you can find a shirt that fits well in the shoulders, but maybe the body is a little bit too wide or boxy, just take it to a tailor and have the sides taken in. And like I said before, let the young guys run around in circles chasing all the trends. For us, focus on classic styles with modern fits that suit your body type the best. And look, if you enjoyed this video, you should definitely check out this one right here on the screen. And one more thing, if you made it this far, tap the like button because you are one of the true legends. Thank you very much for watching. Live well, and I'll see you in the next one.